So we have done like 50 plus passes on our 2019 Mustang GT from stock to 93 tune to the E85 tune. And this is the best I've ever gotten, 12.0745 with the E85 tune only. So we're going to be talking about the difference between the E85, 93, and even the stock for good measure. Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. Today we're going to be talking about the difference in the drag strip times with the E85, 93 tune, and also the stock, just to see what the difference would be as you're modding your car in different stages. Now, as you can see, I was at the drag strip just yesterday, so I've got my numbers pretty fresh, and that was my E85 pass, but I've done like 50 plus passes on the 93 tune, the stock tune, and there are like 10 passes last night on the E85, and I'm beyond impressed with the results. But of course, there are a couple of things to keep in mind that I'm going to cover. Not all cars are the same, even if you're tuned 93 versus a different tuner. Not all cars are the same. Some might make a little bit more power, some might make a little bit less power. There's differences with the drag strip too, how prepped the surface is and how unprepped the surface is. So what I'm getting doesn't have to be what you're getting. It could be a different number, but I'm going to be sharing my best time stock, best times with the 93 tune, and the best time with the E85 tune. All done at the same drag strip, different times. And I'm not talking about like one run that I got. So the best I've gotten, I've been able to replicate it over and over. I just could not break anything further. So to me, it pretty much ends up being that the car is maxed out at that power level based on my current setup. And that is very important. So let's talk about my current setup real quick. Now, I don't have long tube headers or anything like that. So this is just a tune only car. I have 285 wide tire, but these are all season tires. It's a square setup. No suspension mods are done to this car. It's just the Stida lowering springs, which are pretty much just for the looks. Nothing for Viking shocks or Coney shocks, anything that would improve the drag strip performance of the Mustang. So as you can see, it's pretty much stock. I've got a Corsa catback and a drop-in filter. Again, both of those mods don't really add any power, so it's pretty much a tune-only car, so you'll really get an idea with the stock setup, 93 tune, and the E85 tune. In all three instances, I've been to drag strip, it's been on these tires. So I've had about 2 years on these tires. The tires, even when I was stock, I ran the car with these tires. So that's something that's a little bit consistent. And of course, you have to factor in your skill level. When I first took this car to the drag strip, that was my first ever time at the drag strip. So if you're someone more experienced, you might get a little bit better time. So I'm going to be talking about how I ran my best times with this car and what times I'm actually running with each setup. All right, so let's talk about what mode to run your car in. So for me, the best I've gotten, because you're all-season tires, drag mode would always basically make the car lose traction on the second or third shift. So to me, it wasn't worth it. Now, if you have summer tires or drag radials, definitely run the drag mode, turn off the advanced track, and just send it. You're going to get a better time. For me, because I'm on all-season tires, so what I found the best to be is be in track mode, which means your traction control is off, and leave the shifter in sports. I don't know why, if I left the shifter in drive or normal, I got a slightly worse time. I don't know what it does or how the computer calculates it, but track mode, shifter in sports seems to be the best for me in terms of getting my times. And as you saw with those, I was able to get 12.07 with the E85 tune, but the numbers don't mean anything if you don't see the progression. So let's talk about the stock best time I've run with this Mustang, and that was 12.7. Now, I know it kind of sounds a little bit lower than what you would expect, because a professional driver, someone with more experience, can probably get a 12.5 or low 12s with a 10-speed automatic transmission. But the best I was able to do is 12.7. I had a lot of runs like 12.71, 12.72, 12.73. Some were like 12.8, 12.9s, but 12.7 was pretty much the best I could do with that. And honestly, I was kind of happy with it. I want to say I did about 20-30 passes over 2 or 3 different sessions, so I was happy with it because I got to learn the car a little bit more, and 12.7 was kind of respectable for me, especially being an all-season tire. Then I went ahead and got the Lund racing tune with the 93 octane, and that to me really helped with the performance of it. So they claim about 15 to 20 horsepower, which I know isn't a lot, but it made a big difference at the drag strip. Again, goes without saying, if you have these summer tires, it probably would have been a bigger improvement, but I was happy with the improvement. So let's talk about what I got with the 93 tune on these all-season tires. So the best I squeezed out of these all-season tires on the Lund Racing 93 tune was a 12.4, which is 0.3 second of an improvement, which to me was pretty impressive for just a tune-only car. Again, no long tube headers, no intake, just a tune-only car. And that is a pretty big difference, all things considered. You're dropping 0.3 seconds in a quarter mile time. And my ET also improved. I think I was trapping around 115 or so stock. But with the 93 tune, I was able to trap closer to 117, 118, even probably saw 119. So again, traction limited. If I had a summer tire, it would probably be low 12s. But despite that, I think just doing an all-season tires, being able to get 12.4s shows you the improvement of the same car, same setup, that you're able to get a 0.3 seconds improvement over a stock Mustang GT with a setup similar to mine. Now I was really convinced that I should be able to see more, so I did a lot more runs, but I just could not break the 12.4s, and that is probably because I was traction limited. So I had to come to terms with it that either I need to get a summer tire, drag radial, or throw more power. But my thing was like, if I'm already limited because of the traction, I cannot break more than 12.4, then it probably has to do with the traction, and throwing more power just might not help. But I figured I don't need a summer tire, so I went ahead with the E85 tune. And I know that's probably not the best advice, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do E85 and see what I can run. And boy, was I surprised. E85 really wakes these cars up. They claim another 20-25 horsepower. So from stock to 93 is 15 to 20. And from 93 to E85 is another 20 to 25. So you're talking about at least 40 more rear wheel horsepower than what it was making stock. And while I was a little bit worried that I might not get traction, I might post same time, like a 12.4, maybe a 12.3, I was pleasantly surprised with the E85 tune-only car. As you can see, this was my best pass, 12.0745 at 122 miles per hour. My 60 foot was 1.97. Again, if I had a summer tire, not even a drag radial, my 60 foot would probably drop and I would easily be into 11s, if not mid 11s with a summer tire. I think with a summer tire, I should be able to see 11.7, 11.8. So if you're running a summer tire and you're just going E85 tune only, you can easily break into 11s, which is pretty impressive for everything you get. Like all the technology and everything you get with this car and still be able to run 11s. That is impressive. Like heated seats, cool seats, heated steering wheel, digital dash, all these fancy features, and still run 11s at the drag strip and go to work on Monday and not have to worry about it. It is crazy how far the performance has come. So yeah, with the E85 on all season tires, I managed a 1207, but you can definitely get into 11s with a summer tire. And if you have a drag radial, it's a mid 11 cars without a problem, because you can see the trap speed at 122 miles per hour. That means the car is moving, it just needs good traction. So yeah guys, there you have it in terms of differences on a stock vehicle, 93 tune vehicle, and the E85 tune vehicle. All things being the same in terms of suspension and tires, nothing has changed from there. Again, I'm on all season tires. With a summer tire, you'll get better results. But you can see from stock to 93, it's a 0.3 second improvement. And from 93 to E85 is a 0.4 second improvement on my current setup. Again, the car is tune only. If I had long tube headers, I would definitely be in 11s without a problem. And the reason I don't have long tube header is just it's too loud. I don't want to piss off neighbors. And the cost of the headers, the installation cost, you're looking at $2,000 plus for about 20 to 25 horsepower. This E85 tune was $250 and got me pretty much the same power. So to me, it's a lot more worth it. And I can always revert to 93 tune and be driving normally. But yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the differences on the stock versus 93 versus the E85 tune. I highly recommend, if you have good E-blend, to get the E85 tune, because it's really going to move the car. And if you can get long tube headers, it's going to make your car even faster, easily 11-second car without a doubt. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.